This is Wrap the News. Here we go again with Isaiah chapter 9, them claiming it is Jesus. Today we're going to thoroughly break it down as quickly as we can. What we are looking at right here is the actual fake-ass Hebrew translation. Why do I call this fake Hebrew? Because it's Phoenician. It's not Hebrew. This is not real Hebrew. All these fools is learning a fake language. Breaking down Isaiah 9:6, it starts on Isaiah 9:5, and it says, "For a child is born unto us, a son is given unto us. He can't be a god or nothing else. And the government is upon his shoulders, and his name is called Pele Hos El Gebar, Abi Ad Sar Shalom." Right? It had nothing to do with Jesus. It got nothing to do with him being a god. It got nothing to do with him being some mighty counselor. Right? Got nothing to do with that. So, this is the Hebrew translation. They're not going to even go with that. So, come on, let's go with another translation. Isaiah 9:6. I gave him this translation before. Why is this translation totally different from the one in King James Version? Britain Septuagint translation. "For a child is born to us, and a son is given to us, whose government is upon his shoulders, and his name shall be called the Messenger of Great Counsel, for I bring peace upon the prince and health to him." It has nothing to do with Jesus whatsoever being a mighty God, right, in the Old Testament. Let's break it down some more for him, this false translation. So we're going to take a look at his false translation now, and then this mistranslation, we're going to break it down piece by piece to show him and confound them as we do every single time. "For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given." And I got a son, and you got a son, and I got a child, and you got a child. Well, you might not. You've been in prison too long. "And the government shall be upon his shoulders, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace." Mistranslation. How do we know? Common sense will tell you that this is a mistranslation. Break it down. "For unto us a child is born, and unto us a son is given," meaning, number one, he 100% human. He can't be a mighty God. He 100% human. Number two, "And the government shall be on his shoulders." How can the government be on his shoulders when Caesar at the time was ruling the government and he wasn't? Caesar, the government was on Caesar's shoulder, not the wonderful counselors. Who get that? The wonderful Wizard of Oz. This word wizardry, right? Mark 12:17. "And Jesus answered, saying unto him, Render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's. And they marveled at him." How is the government on his shoulders, and he putting it on Caesar's and God's shoulder? Again, come on, this common sense. How is the government on his shoulders if he giving dues to Caesar and to God? He put Caesar before God, right? It should be rendered to God the things that are God's, and rendered to Caesar the things that are Caesar, if you want to put it in a proper order. It's always backwards, ain't it? Let's keep going. John 18:36. Jesus answered, "My kingdom is not of this world." So if his kingdom, his government ain't of this world, then how can the government be on his shoulders? Is it the next kingdom? Because that government is on God's shoulders, right? As he said right there, render to God the things that are God's. Everything belongs to God. Who get that? And then watch this. He is not assuming at any time that he's what? The government is on his shoulders and he ruling the government. Keep going. Number 3. They confounded. And his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor. Throughout the entire New Testament, Jesus was never referred to or called Wonderful Counselor. Oh, Wonderful Counselor, shall we wash your feet now, Wonderful Counselor? Never. It's lies. Because if that's what he was going to be called, he should have been called that in the New Testament. It's a lie. It's an added infiltration by pagans. Number 4, the mighty God. Come on now. Come on now. How can Jesus be the mighty God when he of his own accord stated this? John 5:30. I can do nothing by myself, says Jesus. I can't do nothing by myself. That sounds useless, don't it? Then who helping them? God. See? Render to the things as God as God's. God is the only help. God is the only power. Jesus is saying, what? I can't do nothing by myself. Then how can he be the mighty God? You know, it's like if you got somebody 6'9" and bigger than a house, and then you got a midget, and he said, I can't whoop the midget. Then what's the use of him being 6'9"? Acts 2:22. You men of Israel, hear these words. Jesus of Nazareth is just a man approved of God, not the mighty God. A man approved of God, not the mighty God. A man approved of God. Among you by miracles and wonders and signs which God did by him. He can of himself do nothing, John 5:30, which God did by him, proving that he can of himself do nothing. How can he be the mighty God if he can't do nothing and God did all of these miracles? He ain't no mighty God. It's a mistranslation by pagans trying to add their what? Greek mythology in the book. In the midst of you, as you yourselves also know. You already know he can't do nothing. You already know God did those miracles. You already know he was just a man approved of God. Nothing more, nothing less. Who are men approved of God? Prophets. Nothing more, nothing less. And he only came to what? The lost sheep of the house of Israel. How is the government on his shoulders and he only came for one set of people? Deceived, you liars. Right? You liars. The everlasting Father. How in the hell is he the everlasting Father? Everlasting definition is eternal. Eternal definition means it has no beginning nor end. It has no beginning nor end. That's eternal. That's everlasting. Right? He was born of the Virgin Mary. That's the beginning, idiot. And according to you liars, he was crucified on the cross. That's the ending, you idiot. How in the hell can he be the eternal, everlasting Father? How can he be the mighty God? How can he be the wonderful counselor? How can the government be on his shoulders and none of it apply to him? Confounded, ain't you? How is he the eternal? He has no beginning or end when he was born of the Virgin Mary and died being crucified on the cross. And then he needed help getting back to God, huh? Oh, Father, I can commend my spirit. Please lift me and raise me from the dead, because I can of my own self do nothing. And according to you liars, God raised him from the dead. If he was the mighty God, he would have raised his damn self. Y'all confounding in y'all stupid ass religion, man. Keep going. The Prince of Peace. Really? Y'all worshiping Satan. And that's the Prince of Hell, confusion, and murder. Right? Okay, let's get into this Prince of Peace. Matthew 10:34. Don't imagine, says Jesus, that I came to bring peace to this earth. I didn't come to bring peace, but a sword. Then how the hell is he the Prince of the Peace and he came to bring a sword? He came to kill. He came to kill. How is he the Prince of Peace? And we already know, according to the life and death of Jesus Christ, he ain't killed nobody. We know somebody right here lying again, huh? Uh-huh. Fake ass damn religion, huh? Confound it again. Shut your mouth, man. You need to cut it. He's the Prince of Peace. You need to cut it. He's the everlasting Father. You need to cut it. You know, he's the wonderful counselor. You need to cut it. Luke 12:49. I came to cast fire on the earth. How is he the Prince of Peace? And he came to set the world on fire. He's an arsonist, right? And with that, it already be kindled. I wish it was already started. He came to bring fire on the earth. He came to bring a sword to kill somebody. But he the Prince of Peace, huh? He ain't fitting the description. Let's move on. Luke 14:26. If any man come to me, says the hater, Christ crucified, and hate not his father. Well, I ain't bringing peace if you hate your father, and hate not his mother, and hate not his wife, and hate not his children, and hate not his brothers, and hate not his sisters. Yeah, and hate not his own damn life. He can't be my disciple. Come on, y'all know y'all worshiping Satan. Is God the God of hate? Is God came to cast fire on this earth that he created? Or is that done because people are sinning? Did God came to take away peace from the earth? Y'all worshiping the devil. And y'all know it. And he ain't no damn wonderful counselor. Let's go back up to this bullshit again. For unto us a child is born, human. A son is given, human. The government on his shoulders when it was on Caesars and gods, right? Or gods and Caesars. And his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor. And nobody ever called him Wonderful Counselor. The mighty God, when we know of his own self he can do nothing. God did those miracles by him, right? The everlasting Father, when he was born of a woman and died on the cross. He ain't eternal. The Prince of Peace, when he came to bring a sword and fire and turn people against each other in hate. Get the fuck out of here, man. This is Rap the News.